Phuket is one of the top tourist destinations in Thailand, and we highly recommend it to anyone that hasn't been there. Recently we're in Phuket in Thailand, and since we captured some footage, we thought it's a good follow-up from yesterday's Tradecraft Sunday episode to present a threat report that Russia's Federal Security Service, the FSB, sent back in 2015 to Thai authorities and what happened. Welcome to Spy Spots. Thailand and especially highly touristic places like Phuket are a top tourist destination for everyone, and even more so for Chinese and Russian nationals due to historical and geopolitical reasons. Actually, even in the streets, you'll be seeing signs switching between English, Chinese, Indonesian, and Russian. Moreover, after the increase of sanctions that several countries imposed on Russian citizens after the invasion of Ukraine in 2022, it has become an even more popular tourist destination since there are no sanctions for Russia here. Even at the airport, all announcements are typically also done in Russian. And in most touristic locations, businesses are constantly seeking for Russian-speaking employees to hire. This is a recent development, but even before that, Phuket was one of the top tourist destinations for Russian citizens. Back to our story. What this means is that Russia's FSB has an extra reason to make sure that Phuket remains a safe place for its people. So if they ever come across any threat intelligence related to it, it's likely they'll try to be as open as possible to disrupt any terror plots before they materialize. If you'd like to learn more about threat reports, please check our yesterday's video where we explain the topic in detail. And this is the exact threat report that we'll be talking about in this episode. This was leaked online, so it gives us a rare glimpse into how such intel products look like. It says, the Russian Counterintelligence Service, Federal Security Service, FSB, warns of possible terrorist attacks by the Islamic State, IS group, targeting the people of Thailand, stating that 10 Syrians linked to the Islamic State traveled between the 15th and 31st of October 2015 and separated to Pattaya, 4 of them, Phuket, 2 of them, Bangkok, 2 of them, and 2 more whose whereabouts and names are unknown. The objectives of these people are to cause harm to Russia's assets or those of its allies in Thailand. And that received a lot of attention, for instance, as The Guardian reported back then. Thailand's special branch, which deals with national security issues, circulated the document to other police units. Dated November 27th, the special branch police said in the document marked as urgent that intelligence from Russia warned that 10 Syrians related to ISIS entered Thailand between October 15th and October 31st. The document was circulating on social media on Thursday. The document is real. We received it from Special Branch, said a police officer who handles international crime matters. He declined to be identified because of the sensitivity of the matter. The original communication was by word of mouth between Russia and Thai police. I don't know how the document leaked, he added. Before we continue, it's worth highlighting another geopolitical aspect here related to this threat report, Russia and Syria being state allies. Earlier in 2015, Russia had actively joined the war in Syria after the Syrian government of Bashar al-Assad officially requested Russian military support. So with Russian military actively helping Syria fight the Islamic State, it's reasonable that they'll be trying to find ways to retaliate, including terrorist attacks targeting Russians outside of the war zone. Since September 2015, that collaboration between Syria and Russia only grew further, going beyond military cooperation. That's critical to better understand the background of this threat report. Back to the document. Therefore, please consider the following actions. Investigate, follow up and verify the facts. Second, increase the intensity of surveillance and tracking of target locations from the Russian side that are likely to result in serious incidents, including locations of allied countries that support attacks on Islamic State: America, England, France, Germany, Belgium, Sweden, and Australia, to prevent any violent incidents in Thailand. Third, the 1st and 2nd Divisions are urgently verifying the news of the 10 Syrians who traveled to Thailand. 4. Update the information to be current, that is, important places, residences, sources of all foreigners, with emphasis on the groups of conflicting countries. First, the allies who have joined the attacks against the Islamic State group and network. 5. The 3rd Police Division increased the intensity of security of the premises and personnel. 6. Report the results of the operations according to the chain of command every week, on Wednesday. Next report on Wednesday, December 2nd, 2015. We are informing you to be aware and take further action in the relevant parts. Police Lieutenant Colonel Saragut Karfanit, Deputy Commander of the Royal Thai Police, Commander of the Central Investigation Bureau. The document was classified as secret and marked as urgent, and was leaked by the Bangkok-based news service Khao Sod on December 2015. The document itself has a date of November 27, 2015. As we read in DW of the time about this, Thai officials also announced on Friday that they have heightened security at all popular tourist spots, but especially the island of Phuket. More than 1.6 million Russian tourists visited Thailand in 2014. The vacation high season in Thailand has just begun, with the numbers expected to spike during Christmas and New Year. And let's step away from the security service for a second and look at another aspect, and why nation states are so secretive about threat reports, even when successful. This is a news report from the Nation Thailand talking about that report, saying, a recently leaked memo warning of Islamic State terrorists being dispatched to Phuket has not affected hotel occupancy numbers, according to Phuket Gazette, citing the director of the Thai Hotel Association's Southern Chapter. We surveyed occupancy levels at our hotels and saw no impacts that could be attributed to the warning about 10 Islamic State members arriving in Thailand, Kritsada Tansakul said yesterday. Overall, the occupancy stayed at 75%, with 35% coming from Western arrivals, and the rest mostly coming from major Asian markets such as China, Korea, and India. Though hotel cancellations remain unaltered, Kritsada voiced his concerns about new tourists postponing their trips to Phuket. The economic factor is another variable that nation-states need to consider. Even if it's just a facade, governments need to create the illusion of security to their citizens and their visitors. Another perspective comes from BBC, which said about the same case, Pattaya and Phuket are both popular resort destinations for Russian tourists, and Christmas and New Year are peak seasons. But Thai authorities said they had still to determine whether the Syrians have entered the country. A deputy spokesman for the Thai police, Saunpol Watanachai, confirmed the memo was authentic, but added, so far, it's only intelligence news that still needs to be proved. We have no proof if they are here for real or not. National Security Chief General Tawip Netnayom said, we have yet to find any unusual movement. Everything is safe, rest assured. Immigration Bureau Commissioner Nathan Ton Prayon-Surton told Reuters news agency that of the 231 Syrians who had entered in October, only 21 remain, and there were no irregularities among them. There was very little press coverage in local and international media after the above, so it's hard to know what's happened. Some reports reference undercover surveillance conducted in several hotels and resorts in Phuket, but not much beyond that. Unfortunately, in August of 2016, there was a successful terrorist attack in Phuket, although still unconfirmed who was really behind it. This is important, since even if FSB's threat report was handled properly, It doesn't mean that the terrorism threat stops there. This is a never-ending cat-and-mouse game where spy agencies are in the forefront. So the next time that you'll be visiting the beautiful island of Phuket, remember that nothing is as it seems.